So while we're talking career, maybe this is a good thing to talk about, finances. Did you guys hear about what Odell Beckham said yesterday on a podcast? Odell Beckham yesterday on a podcast said the following, okay? He said it's very hard to live off of a $100 million contract, okay? So folks, I want us to sympathize with him, but there's a part of it where he has a very good point. Just brace for impact. You can get upset. Just light it up on the chat section. But here's Odell Beckham talking about the harsh math on $100 million NFL contracts wearing a Michael Jackson shirt. Go ahead, Rob.
If I didn't have $1 in my account right here today as we speak, I'm going to be straight for the rest of my life. No question, right? I don't think everybody is in that. And when you've sacrificed your whole life to get here, and you're like, yeah, I played 10 years in the league. And I always explain this to people, I'm like, bro, you give somebody a 5-year, $100 million contract, right? What is it really? It's 5 years for 60. You're getting taxed. Do the math. That's 12 a year, you know, that you have to spend, use, save, invest, flaunt, like whatever, however, just being real. I'm gonna buy a car, I'm gonna give my mama a house, I'm gonna do, everything costs money. So if you spending $4 million a year, that's really $40 million over 5 years, 8 a year, you know? And now you start breaking down the numbers, it's like, that's a 5-year span of where you're getting $8 million. Can you make that last forever? And you always hear the people who ain't us and ain't been in the position, like, oh, well, that would last a lifetime.
Okay, so he said this. Then you had Shannon Sharpe responding to it. Here's what Shannon Sharpe had to say. Go ahead.
If you get $60 million liquid, and that can't last you a lifetime, you got a problem. Do you really need 10 houses? Do you really need 15 cars?
No.
Do you need to buy everybody in your house, everybody in your family, a mansion that costs $1 million, $2 million?
Mm-mm.
Because here's the thing.
Yes.
First of all, if you buy somebody in your house, your family a house that costs $1 million to $2 million,
yeah.
First of all, they can't afford the upkeep on it. Because if they could, they'd have it already. See, it ain't the payment, it's the upkeep.
Right.
When ish go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Bro say he's spending $4 million a year. If you spending $4 million a year and it ain't a business related, you out your damn mind. Ain't no way in hell I'm spending $4 million a year. Okay, you buy mom a house. Mm-hmm. If I were to buy mom a house, I'm damn near gonna probably get her a house that I can go ahead and pay off. So I'm gonna spend $500,000 for mom because I gotta get her something that she can clean for herself because I can't pay for a cleaner service because see, that's another expense, Ocho. You get a big ass house, somebody cut the grass. I don't need I need somebody who can come with a pushing lawnmower and cut the grass.
That's another expense.
That's another expense on me, Ocho. Yeah. Flying private.
Now you see why I fly Spirit the past 20 years.
Ocho, but I don't fly everywhere private. I don't go overseas private.
And by the way, he does. I've been on a flight with him before. Oh, so Spirit last 20 years. Okay, who wants to take this one? Jeff, you want this one here?
Sure. I mean, common sense, right? That's really what they're saying is common sense.
Yeah.
I mean, money doesn't last forever. You make these huge contracts, it's like a windfall. There's a reason why lottery winners end up broke. Because they don't, like we just talked about, people don't have the capabilities to manage their own finances, nor the foresight to plan, how am I going to live for the next 50 years off of one income stream that's going to end at some point? There's just a lack of information and planning.
You know what? If you're an athlete and you got a giant contract and you want to come down here and you want to have coffee, I will spend 2 hours with you for free. And I'm
on the private jet.
No, and I'm gonna put a bunch of stuff down on paper, and I'm gonna say, you go copy of this, and you go share what you learned today with everybody else, because I'm gonna warn them about the wrong kind of financial advisors. I'm gonna warn them about always paying your taxes. I'm gonna warn them about overconsumption, but enjoying the fruits of your labor that started at high school where you were busting your butt, and there was a lot of people around you that made money off you. Your high school coach wanted to be a college coach. College coach wanted to be a pro coach. And everybody wanted you on that conveyor belt, and you were making money for an awful lot of people. And now you're a gifted part of the 1/10 of 1% of athletes that actually make it to get paid in professional sports. And everybody laughs at these guys. What these guys are saying is that no one sat down with them. And Shannon Sharpe is saying, here's what you realize. He's saying, just put the word realize in your head and ignore the profanity and just listen to him. I realize if I bought my mom a house, I got the upkeep. I got to pay a guy with a lawnmower. I got to pay all this stuff. He wants his mom to do that, and he wants to take care of his mom the way she raised and took care of him. But he's realizing, wow, forever is a long time. So, and by the way, it's a house she can clean herself. So he's saying not anything too big that you got to have maids and other things at. This is what's going on. Nobody provides this education because nobody cares to. And then God bless them, they're on a podcast and they're talking about this, and then people are laughing at them. If you can't do that, you can't. No. No one, everybody's been living off them, and now no one has told them how to live well off themselves. And they end up with agents that take advantage of them. They end up with financial advisors that take advantage of them. Oh, invest in this, invest in that. And they don't have
Family
it.
members.
They need people to
Mainly
come
family
alongside
members.
to say, hey, here's some tips. Take them back and talk to the rookies. Take them back with all this. There are in the NFL does some of this, but the NFL, most of it is worried about do not get caught in a strip club where they start shooting at each other. Be careful of cleat chasers that want to get pregnant from you. They have all the things that relate to the face and the brand because they're wearing a jersey for a team with the brand, and that jersey with the team is underneath the shield called the NFL, and they want all that to look good. And it doesn't look good if you get in a bar fight and you knock out some other person or you get arrested for, assault. They don't like that. The NFL doesn't like that. So they're really good at doing all this. The teams do some, and not all teams are like this. Some of the teams talk about financial things I've heard, but not all of them. A lot of times it's up to the players. But who's in the players here? An agent and stuff. So when you look at this, you can make fun of them and you could do all that. But you know what? Now they're having to live off themselves after a whole line of people has been living off them, and they need education and they need help so that they can do good things with their money, support their family, but make it all the way. Because having a tragedy at the end, where you have a broke athlete with all this stuff going on, they've got personal responsibility. But I think that's a tragedy because where's the people that could have been alongside and mentoring them, not interested in their money and just helping them get set for the future?
You see that documentary called Broke that talks about this? It's like 80% of them end up going bankrupt within a couple of years after.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, you're totally right. It's like just the way that inflation is, like
it's an older documentary.
It is.
Yeah,
30 for 30.
isn't Mark Rippon in it?
No.
I mean, if you know Mark Rippon, folks, you're over 40 for sure. But keep going. You were saying, Brandon.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that if they had like a quick financial rundown, or like I'm surprised there's not a booming industry around like a financial management for athletes, because it's like a unique position where you have a quick 5 to 10 year window to make a lot of money. Then you're never going to be able to make money off that skill again. But just the way that inflation's set up, it's kind of perfect for them, because if you like invest half that into anything, basically that's an asset rather than like just money sitting in the bank that you're going to do well over 30 years with the way that the government devalues our money. So like if you put in property, you put in like the stock market, you put in any like limited asset, then it's going to do well. But they don't know that stuff. Obviously, they're 20-year-old kids who came from poverty that suddenly have $100 million.
By the way, I don't know if it was Mark Rippon. Can you check Mark? It could have been, who was the Cleveland Browns quarterback that was a decent quarterback, paid $41 million.
Kosar, yeah.
That's who's in that documentary.
Yeah.
Bernie Kosar is in that documentary, I believe. Yeah.
You know what part of the problem is? There's expectations. People have expectations, and they're oftentimes unreasonable. And this is not just about athletes. This is normal people too. They start making a little bit of money, and their expectation is that it removes all constraints.
Yeah.
Like you make a lot of money, you think, I can do whatever I want now. I can have a private jet. I can live in 18 different houses.
And there's a lot of people around you who want to help you do that.
Exactly, for a fee, right? And so, yeah, you have to realize expectations are number one. You don't remove constraints. You raise the ceiling a little bit. But number two, you're going to attract people, like Tom was saying, who are in the business of being in your business. So expectations are just not calibrated correctly. And again, this is not just a problem for athletes. It's lack of information. That's a theme of the show.
It's interesting you say that. 2 points I want to make on that. I got a Manek the other day from a lady who, her husband passed away, and she got $7.5 million, give or take, and he had a good amount of insurance policy. And it's like, hey, what do I do with this now? You kind of like, well, I'm a $7.5 million person. No, you're not. I said, you're a $300,000 a year person. What does that mean? If you put that 7.5 at 4% at some place, if you are getting 4% income on it every year, you're making roughly $300,000 per year, right? Give or take whatever the numbers. I think it is exactly $300,000. I said, don't judge the amount of money you have in the bank if you don't have an income. What he says in the Odell Beckham, he says $60 million. If all of a sudden the contract is done and you're no longer playing, who the hell is going to pay you $100 million over 5 years if your name isn't Tom Brady or Troy Aikman or who's the other Dallas Cowboys, a phenomenal commentator, the quarterback, Romo, phenomenal, right? They're saying he may be one of the best ones. But, I was with Antoine Walker about 10 years ago, 2015. We're in Chicago. We're having a cigar together at the cigar bar. And it's me, him, and Matt Sapala. Very nice guy. He was a very good NBA player. And his career earnings, he made $108 million in his career. You know what his net worth is today? Give or take? I don't know what it is, Robbie, if you can pull it up. But he was talking about openly, I think he teamed up with Morgan Stanley Dean Witter to coach the younger kids of what it's like to have, money right there, $250,000 on the next one, Rob, celebrity net worth, $250,000. It's pretty wild. You got paid $108 million. He said something. He said, you know what the biggest challenge was? He said, when the money was coming in, one day I'm playing blackjack with Jordan. Because they're both from Chicago, Chicago. So, Jordan's Chicago, he's in Chicago. They're playing blackjack. And he says, I'm watching Michael play $1 million hands or $100,000 hands, whatever story he was saying. And he says, I thought I can afford to do that. Mm-hmm. And then I realized I can't. So sometimes it's partying with a guy who has real money and you think you have real money. You don't have that kind of money, but you want to seem like you can hang with that guy and you can't. Don't be tempted to do that. That's the story Antoine Walker was talking about. And by the way, that documentary you're talking about, Broke, I think Andre Rison was in it. Bernie Kosar is definitely in it. A few other guys that were in it who talk about that as well. Jamal Mashburn, who actually did pretty good for himself later on, ended up becoming a businessman. We spoke once. Jamal was a great... Did he play for Kentucky at one point, Jamal Mashburn? Was he a Kentucky guy, Tom? And then he came out.
I don't remember where he came out of
school. He played for the Mavs. He used to average like 20, 24 points a game. Mashburn was actually lights out. Yeah, he was Kentucky. Yeah, he was Kentucky. So anyways, I saw that story with Odell Beckham. Kind of made me think about what some people are going through financially. I know some people may laugh and say, well, $100 million. That applies to people making $100,000, $1 million, $250 a year, $80 a year. All of that habits you create applies no matter what kind of money you're making. New Year's is around the corner. 2026 is going to be here like this. And for us, we had our off-site meeting yesterday at Ritz Fort Lauderdale, which I'll tell you later on. But every year before we get into a new year, we have a long strategy session. Yesterday started at 7:30. We ended at 8:45. The best meeting ever. We've never had a meeting where this many strategies was shared and the plans of what we're doing going into 2026 with all our 9 business units. But the question is, for you going into 2026, how ready you are. A lot of people asking and said, hey, how did this whole thing get started, this whole YouTube thing? Was it accidental? Was it intentional? Was there a strategy behind it? I want you to watch this video, and then you'll see what I'm talking about in regards to December 12th. Go ahead, Rob. So in 2013, we started a YouTube channel called Valuetainment. In the first year, Valuetainment got 167,000 views. That's it. And we were ecstatic. The next 10 years, total, we got 491 million views in 10 years. You know how many we got last year? 1 billion views. You know how many we got last quarter? Last quarter alone, all social media and our YouTube channels combined, YouTube is 700 million. Social is 900 million. Combined, nearly 1.6 billion just last quarter. Why? Because every single year, we would plan for the following year. And I would watch everybody say, well, I don't need this. Every year we would pay to see how we can make our YouTube channel tighter, data, stats, all of it. If you're watching this, you said, man, I want to be able to plan for next year as well. Fantastic. December 12th, I do an event every year called the Business Planning Workshop. If you haven't yet registered, click on a link below, get registered. I'm going to share with you our numbers, what we're going to be doing, and you'll be able to apply it for your business plan as well. I look forward to seeing you there. There you go. Everything comes down to a plan. If you haven't yet registered, December 12th, go to the link below, get registered. Let's spend an entire day together. People from around the world are going to be on. There's going to be tens of thousands of people on. Companies are sitting and watching the whole thing with their employees and their sales team. Go to bpw.bedavidconsulting.com to register or click on the link below. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.